Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we sift through your sources to pull out those essential nuggets of knowledge and insight. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the fascinating world of former Argentinian tennis sensation, Gabriela Sabatini.
That's right. And our material today, it really covers quite a bit. We've got biographical accounts, career stats, of course, but also some, really intimate interviews, net worth insights.
Even that famous rivalry,
right?
Oh,
yeah. A deep dive into one of tennis's most iconic rivalries is definitely in there.
So our mission for you today as we explore all this is to go beyond just the impressive forehands and the Grand Slam titles.
Mm-hmm.
We want to unpack the surprising personal challenges she was facing, the incredible resilience she showed.
Yeah.
And well, what's her life like now, decades after she stepped off the professional court?
It really is a story of not just talent, but also growth, finding new passions after sport.
Okay, so let's jump right in. Her beginnings. Our sources tell us Gabriela Beatriz Sabatini, born May 16, 1970, Buenos Aires, Argentina, picked up a tennis racket at just 6. And incredibly, by 8, she'd already won her first title.
Yeah, 6 years old. And that rise was just, meteoric, wasn't it? I mean, by 13, she'd already made history.
The Orange Bowl, right, youngest ever.
It's exactly, youngest ever to win the Orange Bowl in Miami. And that wasn't a fluke. She kept winning 6 major international junior championships.
Which made her #1 junior in the world by 84.
World #1 junior, yeah. Even then, you could just see something special was happening.
And that momentum just carried straight into the pros. Turned pro in 85, bursts onto the scene at 15, French Open semifinals, 15.
Incredible. One of the youngest ever. She lost that one to Chris Evert, a legend herself.
But it put everyone on notice.
Absolutely. And later that same year, she grabs her first WTA Tour singles title. That was in Tokyo.
And WTA Newcomer of the Year.
Yeah.
So the stage was well and truly set.
It really was. And talk about consistency. For you tracking this, she stayed in the WTA top 10.
For ages.
For a solid decade. From 86 right through to May 96. That's remarkable longevity at the top.
And her peak ranking was world #3.
World #3, yeah, that was in 1989. By the end, she'd racked up, 27 singles titles, 14 doubles,
That's it, honey.
$8.78 million in tournament winnings, which, our sources point out is roughly double that in today's dollars when you adjust for inflation.
Okay, but let's get to the part that I think really fascinates so many tennis fans. That rivalry, Steffi Graf.
Ah, yes. Graf Sabatini. It defined an era, didn't it?
Totally. 40 matches they played between 85 and 95.
40 times. And looking at the big picture, it really shaped women's tennis for years. Graf definitely had the statistical edge.
29-11 head-to-head.
That's the number. And Graf won their first 11 matches, which is quite something.
And 88 must have been tough for Sabatini in that matchup. Graf beat her in the U.S. Open final.
French Open semis.
Olympic final.
All on the way to completing that unbelievable calendar year Golden Slam. A huge piece of tennis history right there.
But, and this is important, Sabatini had her moments too. Big moments.
Definitely. She proved she could beat Graf on the biggest stages.
That 1990 U.S. Open final, her only Grand Slam singles title, beating Graf in straight sets, that must have felt huge.
Oh, absolutely massive. And what's also kind of fascinating, despite how intense their singles matches were,
they teamed up for doubles.
Yeah. They won the 1988 Wimbledon women's doubles title together. It really speaks to a level of respect there, right?
It does. But thinking about those close matches, that 91 Wimbledon final against Graf, our sources mentioned she was just 2 points away.
Agonizingly close. 2 points from the title. Lost that deciding set 8-6.
How did she, talk about that later? Was it a huge regret?
Well, interestingly, no. The sources say she looks back on it as a match where she just gave absolutely everything.
Left it all out there.
Exactly. Her perspective seemed to be about the effort, doing everything she possibly could, rather than, dwelling on those 2 points.
Which is a pretty powerful mindset, I think.
It kept her right up there. She was constantly battling Graf and Monica Seles for that #1 spot in the early 90s.
Rankings were super tight then.
Yeah, just points separating them sometimes. And she finished 91, winning the WTA Most Improved Player Award. Her endurance, too. 508 consecutive weeks in the top 10.
Wow. That's the 4th longest streak ever in WTA history, according to our sources.
Yeah.
Just amazing staying power.
Truly remarkable.
Okay, now for something that, honestly, I found really surprising when digging through the sources, it kind of reframes everything.
Oh, what's that?
Gabriela Sabatini, this powerhouse on court, was apparently intensely shy. Like, really introverted off-court.
Ah, yes. This is such a crucial detail, isn't it? It really humanizes her. And for you listening, it adds this whole other layer to the pressure she must have felt.
I mean, she openly admitted it, said that when she was younger, sometimes she'd actually lose matches on purpose in the semis.
Lose on purpose?
Yeah, just to avoid the public speaking, the on-court interviews if she won the final. She literally said it was that bad.
Wow. Think about that for a second. An elite athlete potentially throwing a match?
To avoid the spotlight. It's almost hard to fathom, right? She described herself as being paralyzed by that fear of speaking to the press, of being the center of attention as the winner.
So how did she manage that? I mean, you can't really avoid it forever at that level.
Well, she worked with psychologists, which makes sense. But she also said something interesting. She felt tennis itself, kind of ironically, it eventually helped her.
How so?
Helped her express herself, become a bit more outgoing over time, maybe the focus, the discipline.
That's fascinating. And there was a turning point, wasn't there, with her coach, Carlos Quirmar, before that big U.S. Open win in '90.
Right. His advice sounds simple, but maybe profound. He told her to pursue interests outside tennis.
Get a life outside the court, basically.
Yeah. Things like horse riding, motorcycling, even playing soccer. Sabatini felt it released so much pressure.
Took the intensity off the tennis court for a bit.
Exactly. Made her more relaxed, more focused when she was playing. She actually advises athletes today to do that. Don't stop doing things you love, because it's healthy. It takes the pressure off.
It really highlights that whole mental side of elite sport, doesn't it? The stuff we don't always see.
For sure. So fast forward a bit. She retires in 1996. She's only 26.
So young, really.
And she was pretty open about why. Just fatigue, burnout, said she couldn't take it anymore.
And it wasn't a sudden thing either. Our sources say she worked with a psychologist for like a year and a half.
Wow.
To actually make that decision, to ensure she wouldn't regret it, wouldn't end up hating tennis later.
That's quite a process. And then after retiring, she just stopped playing completely.
Pretty much. Didn't touch a racket for about 10 years, apparently. She talked about the immense relief, the joy of just controlling her own time.
Freedom.
Yeah, freedom. To travel, to just, if she put it, become a regular person for a while.
But she didn't just disappear. She channeled that energy somewhere else, didn't she? Into business.
That's right, the Perfume brand, which, remarkably, she had actually started way back when she was still a teenager.
In the late 80s.
Wow.
While still playing.
Yeah, in partnership with a German company, Muhens. And it wasn't just, slapping her name on it. She was apparently deeply involved in creating the scents.
So a real entrepreneurial venture that's lasted decades.
Absolutely. Expanded the line significantly over the years. It shows that drive found a new outlet.
And her life post-retirement, it wasn't just business. She reconnected with her roots.
She did. Became an Italian citizen in 2003. Her great-grandfather had emigrated from Italy way back.
So she has that connection.
Yeah.
And she splits her time now between
Buenos Aires, her home city, Boca Raton in the U.S., and also Pfeffikon in Switzerland.
Yeah, philanthropy became important too.
Very much so. For you, tracking her impact beyond tennis, she's dedicated a lot of time to charities, especially helping children in need and promoting sports for people with disabilities.
Which led to some significant awards later on.
Yeah, the Jean Barotra Sportsmanship Award in 2017 and the Philippe Chatrier Award, the ITF's highest honor in 2019, recognizing those contributions.
And, of course, the ultimate recognition for a tennis player, the Hall of Fame.
International Tennis Hall of Fame, inducted in July 2006, she called it one of the best moments of my career.
The best thing a tennis player could achieve, I think was her quote.
That sounds right. And in a really nice touch, showing that mutual respect we talked about.
She asked Graf to present her.
Exactly. Asked Steffi Graf to be the one to introduce her at the induction. A lovely full-circle moment.
So when you look back at everything we've covered from the sources, Sabatini's journey, it's quite something.
It really is. It's a powerful reminder, I think, that even for people at the absolute peak, the internal battles, the personal stuff,
Can be just as tough as any opponent.
Maybe even tougher. It's a story of immense talent, yes, but also vulnerability, finding self-awareness, and having the courage to actually prioritize well-being.
So as you reflect on this deep dive into Gabriela Sabatini, what really stands out to you? How often do we actually stop and think about those hidden pressures on athletes beyond just the wins and losses?
Yeah.
And maybe, what can her way of weaving personal interest into that high-pressure career teach us about managing our own lives, our own passions and jobs, to find maybe a bit more balance, a bit more peace?